We're now just 1 minute away from the beginning of our next feature. For your convenience, our refreshment stand will remain open after the feature begins, so you still have time to add to the fun of watching the movie. Before we begin our next feature, we'd like to remind you to replace your speaker before leaving the theater. If it is accidentally damaged, please notify someone at the refreshment stand. Again, thank you for coming out to the drive-in tonight. As you leave, please drive carefully and come back soon.
In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the state of horror movies in the world was a little bit stale because movies were either influenced by the ironic qualities of Scream or it was all torture porn, which is basically, people tied up in a dungeon with chains and getting their teeth pulled out one by one, and no one really wanted to watch that after a while. So thanks to J-horror, or Japanese horror is what it stands for, the horror landscape really changed around this time. Japanese horror movies weren't defined by fast-paced action or torturing humans. They were more focused on craftsmanship and characters and telling a story and building tension. So you could look at them as being more influenced by maybe Alfred Hitchcock movies rather than Rob Zombie movies. So the Japanese horror movement kicked off in 1998 with a movie called Ringu. And Ringu almost overnight was just a huge sensation. Everybody went to see it. It was directed by a guy named Hideo Nakata and written by Koji Suzuki. It was based on his novel. And I think the reason why this movie resonated, one was because it shifted the focus so that it was being told from a woman's perspective. And two is that the movie really stopped to smell the flowers. It was based on a creeping dread. It wasn't based on, being scared that you're going to get your head chopped off with a machete. It was something real and people could relate to that. And I think that's the reason why the movie still resonates today. I'm not sure how many of you out there have actually made a movie that changed the world, but I've never done that and I'm sure most of you haven't. But that is a position that Hideo Nakata found himself in when he was ready to make the follow-up to Ringu. So how do you follow that up? One way is that you get with Koji Suzuki, who wrote Ringu, and you make another movie based on one of his novels, which is Dark Water, and that's what they did. Dark Water is a very scary movie, but you gotta let yourself get scared by it. In order to do that, you have to understand that this is a slow burn horror movie, which means it's slow, it takes a long time to get where it's going, but that is not a bad thing. That's not something you should be scared of. You should actually embrace it because that's what makes the movie great. If you're looking kind of for an entryway, there's a lot of touches of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining in this movie, and it's also a great example of a subgenre that I really like, which is apartment horror, which I think was kicked off by David Cronenberg's Shivers, and this is probably like the apex of people being stuck in an apartment complex and being terrified. Dark Water isn't just an exercise in style and design. There's another reason why I think it's really exceptional, and that is that the American Institute of Stress did a study many years ago that said the 3 most stressful things any of us can go through are death, divorce, and moving or relocation. And this was done a long time ago, so they can't include what we're all going through now. But Dark Water has all 3 of these things, and I think that's why the movie has such resonance with us, because we can really relate to it. And at its base, this movie is about a woman fighting for her life and pushing through against the world to find happiness with her child, who she has a very special and sweet relationship with. And I think no matter what your lot is in life or where you've been or what you do, everybody can relate to these things. And I think that's why I love this movie so much. Dark Water is part of AGFA's theatrical catalog from our friends at Arrow Films, and it's a stunning restoration. This movie was never available in the US since its original release in 2002. So what we want you to do is watch this intro and enjoy it, and then go watch Dark Water at Canopy.com, where it is streaming for free. And if you haven't tried Canopy, we highly recommend it. All you need is a library card to use it. And then after you watch it, and of course you're gonna love it, obviously, tell your friends about it, tell them to watch it, tell your local theaters about it when they reopen, because when they reopen, you can book this beautiful restoration from AGFA on behalf of Arrow and watch it in a theater with people. AGFA Secret Society is here to bring you some joy and positivity and happiness during these dark times, because the more positivity, the more togetherness we put out there, the light will eventually destroy the darkness, which is going to happen. We're going to make it through this. And we especially want to say thank you to everyone who has supported and donated to AGFA this week. It means the world to us, and it's put a smile on our face and given us a spiritual helping hand at a time when we really, really need it. So if you can donate to AGFA, we would appreciate it very much. We are a nonprofit. We are the world's largest nonprofit genre archive and distributor, and the onlyest. So your donations help us very, very much during these difficult times. And even if you can't donate, that's okay too. Just the fact that you're watching this and you're still enjoying genre movies at home and you're getting through this is what really matters.